Thakur Prabhupada ki Anandapuri Vaishnavanda ki Sat Goswami Prabhu ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana ki Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham ki Sri Sri Radha Vrindavan Natwala ki Sri Sri Gaurnitai ki Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki ISKCON Columbus ki Gaur Premanandi all glories to the Assembly all glories to the Assembly all glories to the Assembly all glories all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga all glories to you Srila Prabhupada. So this was a beautiful song written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was the father of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who was the spiritual master of our own very dear Srila Prabhupada. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the first in our line of spiritual masters to preach in a language outside of the languages of Bharat. He wrote many books in English and as well a few songs even in English. And one of his English books, Lord Chaitanya, His Life and Precepts, reached McGill University in Canada in 1896. Anybody know the significance of 1896? That's the year Srila Prabhupada appeared in this world. And Prabhupada, wherever he went, he sang this song. Why? Because the whole picture of Vrindavan comes in this song. First of all, Jai Radha Madhav. Just like now, we're going to see so many, we've seen so many forests. We were in New Vrindavan, we were in New Jersey, we were so many places. Here in Ohio, we saw also so many forests. We've been to South Africa, we saw forests with rhinoceroses and hippopotamus and leopards and so many things, and many, many forests all over the world, in Russia and Ukraine. But why we're interested in the Vrindavan forest? Because the essence of Vrindavan is Radha Madhav. For those who have the eyes to see, Radha and Madhav pastimes are still going on there. So first of all, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Kunj means, so just like here I see you have so many tall trees going straight up and up. But in Braj, our trees try to grow straight, but they're melting in Krishna Prem. They again come down like this. So when they come down like this, it makes like a little room. And little creepers crawl up, because the branches are low, little creepers crawl up, and when the breeze blows, the sense of their flowers comes inside the kunj. In our house, if we have wall-to-wall carpet, we're very proud. But Prabhupada says just dust collector, some synthetic plastic fiber. In Krishna's kunj, the gopis, before Radha and Krishna come, they put Madhavi flowers, Mogra flowers, dewy flowers, jasmine flowers, sometimes lotus petals. This type of wall-to-wall carpet Krishna has in his kunj. So Prabhupada explains, in talking about this song, that this is a very natural scene. Prabhupada said, we have never seen the picture of Krishna drinking his coffee and running to the bus stop to catch his bus to go to work. No. Kunja Bihari, so many beautiful kunjas are there, beautiful trees and flowers, natural place. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavala. You may or may not know, Nanda Baba, he has 9 lakhs of cows. You know what is 1 lakh?
100,000?
You're right. Huh? So 9 lakhs means almost 1 megabyte. So to milk all those cows, we need lots of gopis. So many gopis in it. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballava Giri Varadari. Our picture of Vrindavan will be completely incomplete without Giriraj. Here we see him right here on our wall. Giri Varadari. Yasoda Nandana. Mother Yasoda is there. She loves Krishna so much. She's saying that if I don't feed Krishna, he'll get sick and die. He'll get COVID and die. So, but Krishna, he's supplying food to the whole universe. But Mother Yasoda is thinking with so much pure love that if I don't feed him, he's going to be sick. Yasoda Nandana, Brajajana Ranjana. All the Brijvasis are there, headed by Nanda Maharaj. And Krishna, by his own mouth, he's told, Brijvasi Balab Sada Mera Jivan Prana. These Brijvasis were more dear to me than my own prana, life. So all the Brijvasis are there. Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Vihari, Gopi Jana Balava, Giri Bali, Yasoda Nandana, Brajajana Nandana, Jamuna. Jamuna River is there. Because this is a very, very famous river. At one time there was argument whether Jamuna or Ganga is more powerful. Only person who gave, this was in Akbar's court in Agra. He's the only person who can give the answer on this, because everybody's arguing. The Jamuna Pandits were arguing for Jamuna, Ganga Pandits were arguing for Ganga. They sent a messenger. Jiva Goswami said, I've taken Kshetra Sannyas. If you can send a chariot that's so fast that I can go there and be back before nightfall, then I'll come. So Akbar sent his best chariot, his best horses. Jiva Goswami went there. He began to describe from the scriptures so many verses about Ganga. And all the Ganga Pandits became very happy, and Jamuna Pandits went down. Then he said, but that Ganga only one time touched the lotus foot of the Lord. Remember when Vamandev kicked a hole in the universe, the water touched his toe and came inside the universe. One time. But in Vrindavan, Krishna was jumping, splashing, playing, bathing every day in Jamuna. So she's become 100 times more purifying than Ganga. And all the Ganga Pandits went down, Jamuna Pandits went up. He said, but again in this age, Krishna has appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was jumping and swimming and bathing every day in Mayapur Dham in the Ganga. So they have become equal. So Jamuna River is there. Jamuna Tira means the bank, not the ones that are ripping us off, but the bank of the river. Banachari. So Ban means forest. So many forests are there in Braj. Actually 7 forests. Madhuvan, Palavan, Garudvan, Bahulavan, biggest Vrindavan, then one very far away western edge of Braj in Rajasthan, Kamivan, and then we have a little forest between Barsana and Nandagam called Kedarvan. So 7. And on the eastern bank of Jamuna, we have 5 forests: Bhadravan, Bandirvan, Belvan, Lohavan, and Gokul Mahavan. One forest has 2 names, Gokul and Mahavan. The 7 and 5, 12 forests of Braj. So whole picture of Vrindavan has come. Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Vihari, Gopi Jana Balava, Giri Varadhari, Yasoda Nandana, Brajajana Nandana, Sajina, Chira, Bana, Chari. Whole picture of Vrindavan. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Om Agyan Timarandasya Ganandana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dhavati Swapadanyam. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Panchakalpatrubhyascha kripasindhu vaivascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So on the way here I was thinking what pastime of Prabhupada I would tell today. And coming up your steps, it reminded me of the very, very old temple in San Diego. But it was on like 3300 Grand Street or something like And I saw the beautiful flowers painted on the steps here. And I was remembering in those steps, on the riser part, this is called the riser part, they put the Hare Krishna mantra all the way up the steps like that. So at that time, my service was selling incense for spiritual sky incense for LA Temple, actually for the deities. My collection went straight to the deities. So I had a car, because Prabhupada went to San Diego, so I went there. And they brought Prabhupada there, and as soon as Prabhupada came, he saw the Mahamantra, Krishna's name, written on the riser of the steps. And Prabhupada refused to step over Krishna's name, because Krishna's name is not different from Krishna himself. Prabhupada refused to step over Krishna's holy name. He had to paint them all out very quickly. And so Prabhupada, he went around to the back door, which entered into the kitchen. So everybody in the kitchen was really shocked because they weren't expecting. They were back in the kitchen cooking and thinking we won't get to see Prabhupada, you know. And Prabhupada walked into the kitchen. Everybody was shocked. Boom, they all hit the ground. So singing your beautiful steps with the flowers, I was singing of this wonderful pastime of Prabhupada. Today is also a very special day. It's Ekadasi, not just any Ekadasi, but this is Shine Ekadasi. All the demigods go to sleep today. So nobody does any auspicious activity for this Chaturmasi, for the next 4 months, because all the demigods are asleep. At least in Bharat we follow like that. There's no weddings, there's no very special sacrifices. So today is Shine Ekadasi. And there's one pastime that I like to tell on Ekadasi that involves a very beautiful forest called Bahulavan. Anybody ever been to Bahulavan? Really? Hardly we ever go there, unless you're on Lokanath Swami's Brajman Prikrama. But actually it's probably the closest forest to our Krishna Balaram Mandir, not very far away. A very beautiful place. We've started adding it in because it's so nice. Now the government has fixed it up. It used to be just a mud hole, but now the government has fixed it up very, very beautifully. Recently I took my dear godbrother Yadubar there. And afterwards he came and he told me, he said, Deena Bandai, thank you so much. It's so nice to go to some place where there's no beep beep, So, and to understand this pastime, we're going to have to go all the way up to the Swargaloka. Because one time, there was 2 Gandharvas, their names were Huhu and Haha. It's in the scripture, it's like their names are Huhu and Haha. And they were doing some beautiful performance for the all the devas and devis. So they were doing their performance, singing and dancing and playing instruments, and suddenly Pipalayana Rishi and Nard Muni appeared on the scene. And all the Devi Devatas, they all stood up and paid their obeisances and praised the entrance of Pipalayana and Nard Muni, except for Huhu and Haha. And Pipalayana Rishi, he became very angry. I don't know, somehow I met so many Paka sadhus in Braj. You can put a stack of 500 rupees in front of their face. They look the other way, no greed. I come on Prikrama with all these pretty white girls from Russia, they don't even look, no lust. But somehow you make some little mistake in etiquette. This lust and greed you can control a little bit, but this anger, that's the hard one. So Pipalayana Rishi became very angry. Everybody stood up and honored us. You didn't stand up. What are you doing here in Swarg? You're just like an animal. You don't know any proper etiquette. You should become animals on the earth. And Guru said, wait a minute. You're Trikaligya. You can see past, present, and future. You sit in meditation and see. We were busy doing our performance. So within our hearts, we paid sastang pranams. We paid dandavas to you when you came. So Kipalaini she sat down in meditation and he saw it. Oh, it's true. Anyway, now I pronounced the curse, I can't take it back. So I will also go to the earth. This Nard Muni, he didn't stop me from cursing, so he will also go to the earth. And this earth was the witness of this whole thing, so she shall also go there. So this pastime was like, introduction to this pastime is like that. So this forest was known as Bahulavan, because there was a beautiful cow there named Bahula. And she was very, very, very pious cow. And one time, she was very, 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 very big and pregnant. And Ekadasi came. So she was a very pious cow. She decided she was going to perform Nirjala Ekadasi, not even drop of water. Generally, we don't recommend this to the pregnant ladies. They should not do Nirjala Ekadasi. But she was very pious, so she was doing Nirjala. If you don't know the rules or regulations for Ekadasi, it's very special. You can learn from the older devotees here how to follow Ekadasi. You don't have to fast completely, just no beans or grains like that. You can learn how to do Falahar Prasad from the older devotees here. Anyway, she was doing Nirjala. So whole day and whole night, not one drop of water. On Dwadasi morning, she gave birth to her calf. So whole day, whole night, not one drop of water. Whole night she was up, chanting the glories of the Lord. And now, just went through the trauma of childbirth. She was so thirsty. She was so thirsty. Without even giving her first milk to the calf, she went to look for water. Because the first milk of the cow, that is called cholesterol. And even the commercial dairies know that's not meant for human consumption. Well, they're trying to make as much money as they can. They know this can't be sold for human consumption. It's only for the calf. It's filled with vitamins, minerals, and probiotics. We create antibiotics against life, but nature, she creates probiotics for life. Anyway, without giving that first milk to her calf, she was so thirsty, she just went to look for water. Now, if you watch the Discovery Channel, then you know, where do the predators hang out? Near the water hole. And so she came there, and she started to drink water, and a big lion jumped out and was ready to pounce on her. And she fell down before that lion and said, please, I promise, I cross my heart, hope to die. I'm not telling a lie. I'll come back. You just let me go feed my first milk to my calf. So anyway, lions we know are very ferocious. But somehow they have this aura that they're very, very noble. Just like you go to Vrindavan, you see on Prabhupada's Vyasas, two very noble lions are there. So he said, all right, he believed her. So he said, all right, you go feed your milk to the calf and come back. Meanwhile, I'll do my Facebook. Just make it quick. So she went back and she was feeding milk to her calf. And she was crying. And the calf said, Mata, why are you crying, Mata? Lala, this is the last time I will see you. Why is that, Maya? Mata, why is that? And then she explained everything. And she said, no, my mother has given me life. How can I see her die? I will go, you stay here. No, Lala, I've already lived so many years in this body. I will go. You have your whole life in front of you. No, I can't see my mother die. You please, I will go, you stay here. They were arguing like this. Then the coward boy came. He heard the argument going on. Then he understood what was going on. No, my cow has given me milk my whole life. So wonderful milk. She can't die. I will go. You please stay here. No. You have treated me with so much love and affection and taken care of me so nicely. I can't see my coward boy. I will go. And the calf said, no, I can't see my... All of them were arguing like this. You see, previously people were so noble. Nowadays, if there's something going wrong, and you figured out how to get out of it, say, yeah, you go. But anyway, so the lion, he was so shocked. He was only expecting one. Now 3 have come. 3 have come. Right at that moment, Krishna appeared on the scene and played on his flute. As soon as he played on his flute, everyone realized their identity. That Mother Cow, that was Bahula, that was Mother Earth. The lion, that was Kuhu. And the cowherd boy, that was Pipalayana Rishi, and the calf was Narad Muni. So if you go to Bahulavan, very close, only maybe 15, 20 minutes from our temple, you go there, and there's beautiful kun. Now it used to be just a complete mud hole and filled with buffaloes, and the water was all green and everything. But now we have nice government in UP. All the kuns are fixing up and all the holy places and making nice roads and everything. So now they made nice, they put stone all around and they planted trees all around. They made a separate kun for all the buffaloes to go. So nice clear waters there, beautiful kadamba trees and neem trees and pilu trees and so many beautiful trees all around. And the opposite side of the, when you come in, opposite side, there's a beautiful ghat. There's a ghat on this side, and on this side there's a beautiful ghat. And then there's a little one, I don't know what else to call it, it's a pier coming out like that. And underneath, you go there, you go down the steps, underneath that little pier, there's a tiny little temple. And there's a big marble plaque on the wall. And carved in that bas-relief, you see Krishna playing on his flute, you see the lion is there, and you see the cow is there, and cowherd boy is there, and the calf is there, all very nicely carved there on that beautiful piece of white marble. A very beautiful place. We go around sometimes, oh, now they have beautiful peepal tree there. As Krishna, he saw this type of tree, he said, Are Maya, what kind of tree is this? What's leaf has got a tail? What kind of tree is this? What's leaf has got a tail? Ye can't keep hair, Maya, just keep patiki punche. Ye can't keep hair, just keep patiki punche, Maya. And Mother so looked, oh Lala, this is peepal tree. Just like when you go to Vrindavan, in front of Prabhupada Samadhi, you get huge peepal tree. And the leaves are shaped just like a heart and come down to a little punch tail like this. And they're very, very special for the environment. Because we learned in our botany class that the trees give off oxygen in the daytime, and what in the night? Carbon dioxide. But peepal trees and banyan trees, they give off oxygen 24/7. They're very special for the environment. In fact, we saw the beginning of this year, we were in, actually at the end of last year, we were in New Dwarka. We saw right around the corner from the temple, they have beautiful peepal tree. I've been watching it growing. It's very, very big now, with great big leaves like this. So all these beautiful trees are there. Very beautiful place. Then everybody always asks, well, what happened to Haha? He became the lion, so what happened to Haha? Where's the picture? I saw here, Gajendra Moksha picture, is there something? There. So the crocodile, that was Huhu. Prabhupada explains in the purport that there was one Gandharva named Huhu, and he was cursed to become a crocodile on the earth. And so he was liberated by Lord Vishnu to save his devotee Gajendra. So we mentioned Bandiran. Bandiran is a very beautiful forest. The government has made nice wall all around to keep it from being encroached, because everywhere all the beautiful places are being encroached by the farmers and everyone. A nice wall around it, very beautiful place. And so many, we call dungar trees, especially the ones that make the kunjas like this, and there's pilu trees, and there's special creepers called hees with so many thorns in them, so no animals will go near. And so everybody knows the gunja beads, right? The little black and white beads that Giriraj likes so much. So those creepers, only place they can live is where there's thorns because, oh, the leaves are very delicious. You pick the leaves and a whole bunch, little tiny leaves, and you pick them and wash them off. It's just like eating, I don't know if they still have it. When I was a little kid, there was something called sensen, for freshening your breath. Tastes like that, almost like licorice. So they can only live where there's thorns because the cows will come and eat them. So all the little boys, they're not afraid of the thorns. They go in there and you'll find all the little boys, they're especially in Kartik, because just before Kartik, all the peacocks lose their feathers. So all the little boys and girls are coming up to you with handfuls of peacock feathers and gunja beads, because they pick them from the forest. There's a beautiful forest is there. And one time, because I've seen this beautiful, extraordinarily beautiful deities of Radha, Vrindavan, Natavara, Neela reminded me of a beautiful pastime that happened one time in Bandirvan, on the other side of Jamuna. Sometimes there's, when it's not rainy season, we have a pontoon bridge. It's just maybe 6 kilometers from our temple. Otherwise, during the rainy season, they take the pontoon bridge down, then there's a pakka pool. There's a, concrete pool, bridge you can go across. And so then maybe you have to go maybe 10 or 12 kilometers. But when the pipa pool, the pontoon bridge is there, you go across, and this 5-6 kilometers you're in Bandirvan. So one time, Radha and Krishna, they were wandering through Bandirvan. And Krishna was showing all the wonders of the forest to Srimati Radharani. Just see, there's a little chipmunk running on the tree. Oh, Radhi, look, there's a crow. And then he would show, oh, listen, the kokila is singing. Let's see if we can do it. Last year I had some problem called Bell's palsy, so this whole side became paralyzed. It's much better, but still sometimes I can't make this kokila sound. Oh, Radhi, listen, the kokila. Then she heard another sound. You can go to New Vrindavan and hear. Oh, Radhi, listen to the peacock. The Brajvasis, they say the peacock is calling, Megao! Megao! For those who don't know Hindi, Meg means cloud. It's like you remember in Ramayana, there's one fellow named Meghanath. And you can figure out, how come? Because the peacocks are crying like this when the summertime is there, when it's only 104 degrees up to 120 degrees, nice cool weather is there. So they're crying, Megao! Megao! And I have a friend named Achuta who lives in Gainesville, and he was the one who finished constructing Prabhupada's Samadhi in Vrindavan. He's from a special place in America. So he says all the peacocks are saying, New York! New York! New York! And the sadhus say the peacocks are calling, Keka! Keka! K Radha, Ka Krishna. The peacocks are calling Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna. So this way, there's a beautiful tamal tree. Tamal trees are always black, just like the one in our courtyard in Krishna Balaram Mandir. They're black and crooked. When the gopis are running with tears in their eyes, they can't see clearly. Just see something is black and crooked, and they embrace the tamal tree. And so, oh, Radhi, look, there's a kadamba tree. And Radharani looks at kadamba trees, they have little, it's actually not one flower, because in Sanskrit, kadamba means group, samu, dal. It's a whole ball of flowers, 100 little flowers like this, all of the same color as Srimati Radharani. So the tamal tree represents Krishna, and the kadamba tree represents Srimati Radharani. And if you see them growing together, that's like getting sakshat darshan of Radha and Krishna. And in Bandirvan we see that. There's a beautiful tamal tree wrapping around the kadamba tree. Very beautiful scene is there. Hmm? In this way, they were looking at all the wonders of the forest. Then Krishna, he ran ahead of Radharani. He hid behind a tree. And Radharani came running, and she's looking. And Krishna came from behind. Then Radharani, she ran and hid behind the trees. And she's watching, see if Krishna's coming. Then they came to a place where there was a clearing, no trees, and the sand was just like jewels, very beautiful jeweled area, just like a dancing dice. And then Radha and Krishna began to dance. And they were dancing and dancing just like this. And their ankle bells and their bangles were completely in syncopation. And they were doing such incredible rhythms that even Lord Brahma, with his 4 heads, he couldn't understand the rhythms. Even Nataraj, Lord Shiva, he's the king of dance. He couldn't understand the rhythms, complicated rhythms. With their ankles and their ankle bells, they're making these beautiful rhythms. Ching, 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 ching. Ching, 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 ching. Ching, 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 ching. Ching, 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 ching. And they were whirling and twirling and whirling and twirling. And all the peacocks, they saw the dancing of Radha and Krishna. And although the peacocks are very proud of their dancing, and very proud of their spread out feathers, they all closed their tails. And they came to watch the dancing of Radha and Krishna. And they were whirling and twirling and whirling and twirling. Now, those from India you know, and those who stayed in India you know, but sometimes if there's some type of performance, the people come and they take a 10 rupee bill and they go like this around the performers. We call no chavar. But the peacock's just a simple animal of the forest. He doesn't have any money. So the peacock took one of his tail feathers and offered it to Krishna. And though it was just a simple tail feather, Krishna accepted it as if something very valuable. So valuable, he took that feather and he put it on top of his crown. And then they were dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing. Beautiful place. And all the peacocks were watching. And all the forest animals came to watch the beautiful dancing of Radha and Krishna. So this beautiful pastime happened in the beautiful forest of Bandirvan, just on the other side of the Jamuna from our temple. There's another pastime. I guess we'll have time to tell that pastime. Because from Bahulavan, actually Bahulavan, there's a nice description in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It doesn't say it, but it talks about, but you see the order of the forest. Because Mahaprabhu started from Madhuvan, then he went to Talavan, then Kamudvan, then Bahulavan, and then from there he went to Radhakund. And this is the same path we follow in Brajmandal Parikrama. We go with Radharaman Swami and his group. They go the same path. From Bahulavan they head towards Radhakund. But Bahulavan, beautiful description, because it stops, it says Mahaprabhu's got to Bahulavan, and then all of a sudden it gives a description that the deer were coming to see Mahaprabhu, and both the deer and the bucks, they both together were coming to see Mahaprabhu, and they were sniffing his body and licking his body, and the trees were hanging down with so many fruits, and Mahaprabhu was all the trees were offering their fruits. Mahaprabhu was singing and dancing through the forest. And the parrots, he stopped to hear the parrots. The parrots were singing the glories of Radha and Krishna. One parrot said, Amar Krishna, Madana Mohan. And Sari, the female parrot, she said, Satyavati, Kinju, Mila Amar Radha, what is it? Madana Mohana Mohini. that my Krishna, he's Madan Mohan, he chants even Cupid. And the female parrots say, yes, but my Radha, she enchants even Krishna. Therefore she's Madana Mohana Mohini. Amar Krishna Jagatera Guru. Amar Radha, my Krishna, he's the Guru of the whole universe. Jagatera Guru. And the female parrot says, Sari says, he's only the Jagatera Guru, he's only the Guru of the universe because my Radha is Panchakalpa Taru. She's a desire tree who can fulfill it. If the Guru can't fulfill the desires of his disciple, then he's useless. Neto Kyakar Guru. Amar Radha, Panchakalpa Taru, Neto Kyakar Guru. Now what would that Guru do if he's not with Radha? Mira Krishna, Giridhara Chilo, you see in the picture. My Krishna, he lifted that Govardhan hill. Satyabhati Amarada Shakti Sancharilo. Yes, because my Radha gave him the Shakti. So like that, Mahaprabhu was listening to the parrots. So beautiful description is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then Mahaprabhu, he was totally in ecstasy. And he came to he was traveling with Balabhadra Bhattacharya, was helping him, and one Brishvasi, Rajput Brishvasi was following with him. And they came towards Govardhan, and Balabhadra, he asked one villager, what is the name of this village? And that villager said, this is Aritagram. As soon as the sound of Aritagram entered Mahaprabhu's ears, he came back to his external consciousness. And he began to ask everyone, where's Radhakuna and Shyamakuna? But they were lost to the eyes of the world. They had been lost. Now why, hearing Amritagram, did Mahaprabhu think of Radhakuna and Shyamakuna? Because the original name of this place was Aristagram, where Krishna killed that Aristasura demon who came in the form of a bull. Came in the form of a bull. So why hearing the name as remembering Aristasura? Because we heard Radhakund is a very sweet Madhurya Ras place. So why hearing about some demon, horrible demon, did Mahaprabhu think of Radhakund and Shyamakund? Because what was Krishna had come there in this beauty on the side of, because in the Kartik time when you come, in the Sard Purnima, the Kartik Purnima, they happen in the autumn time. But in the springtime, Krishna does Ras Leela on the side of Govardhan Hill. So Krishna come there to Govardhan just to do Ras Leela with all the gopis. And he was dressed up as, Prabhupada says, Natavara, just like a dancing actor. He tied his sash very nicely, had beautiful kurta and beautiful pitambar dhoti, golden dhoti. He was dressed up just like a dancing actor. When he got the news that Aristasura was terrorizing all of the Brishvasis. So I remember this, we didn't have terrorism when I was a little kid, but we thought this was a new thing. But this has been going on for at least 5,000 years, at least. This was Arista bin Laden. He was tearing up the ground with his hooves. He was smashing the Brishvasi houses with his horns. His tail was swatting the clouds here and there. His roaring gave the cows and the Brishvasini miscarriages. He was terrorizing the Brishvasis. So Krishna tightened up his belt, and that Aristasura took one look at him and began pawing the earth. And Krishna put his hand on his friend. Nectar Devotion it describes that Krishna just put his hand on his friend's shoulder. He wasn't at all afraid of this Aristasura. And as Aristasura came charging at him, and Krishna grabbed him by the horns. Prabhupada explains in the purport of this pastime that Krishna was very clever. He knew the way to control that bull is by the horns. So he grabbed him by the horns and swung him around and around and around and around, and then smashed him on the ground and pulled out one of his horns and smashed it with those horns and stomped on him like a wet sponge. And passing stool and urine simultaneously, he went to the kingdom of death. So then Krishna said, all right. He told all the gopis, now we can do Ras. And Radharani, all the gopis said, you have done a big pop. You know pop? Coca-Cola 7-Up? No. Pop means sin. You have done a big sin. Oh, what sin did I do? You killed a bull. That is a big sin. How we can be associated with such a person as you? Krishna, that wasn't a bull, that was a demon. And Radharani said, may have been a demon, but he was in the form of a bull. Krishna said, may have been in the form of a bull, but he was a demon. And Radharani said, well, we heard from Mother Purnamasi that one time Indra, he killed one demon. You remember that Vitrasura, right? He was a Brahmin. He got reaction. He was a demon, but he was a Brahmin. He got reaction. That old lady suffering from tuberculosis, coughing up blood, came chasing after Indra. He had to hide in the lake of lotuses for 1,000 years. He got reaction. So Krishna, all right, so what do I have to do so that I can be associated with you? And Radharani, all the gopis, they consulted one another. Said, you will have to take bath in all the sacred places of the universe. And Krishna said, all right, that will take a long time. How I can be away from you girls for so long? I will bring all the holy places here in one place and take my bath. And Radharani goes, oh Krishna, don't try to fool us with your magic. We don't believe in your magic. And Krishna took his right foot and he stomped a big depression in the ground. And he played on his flute. And all the sacred places of the universe appeared there with folded hands. And he said, but Maharaj, any service for us? And Krishna said, yes, you give your introduction, you chant your mantra, and you pour your water in my kund. So all the sacred places came, they were chanting their, giving their introduction. I'm the ocean of milk, I'm the Godavari, I'm the Kaveri, I'm the Sindhu, I'm the Jhelum. They were chanting all the sacred places of the universe, gave their introductions, chanted their Achman mantra and poured their water in Krishna's kund. And Krishna was showing the gopis just by his eyes. Because when there's love, we don't need words. Just like when we're angry at each other, we scream. We're standing right in front of each other, but we scream. Why? Because our hearts have gone far away. We yell, because our hearts have gone far away. But when we have love, then we speak. We speak with little sweet words. Or sometimes we just by the eyes. So Krishna, just by his eyes, he was showing, I told you, they're coming. See? They're coming. So this went on for a long time. Almost to the midday. Then Krishna took his bath and he told all the gopis, now you come in the water and we'll have jalakiri, water pastimes. And Radharani Gopi said, this kund is contaminated with your sin. How we can come in this kund? We're going to make our own kund. So there was a place where Aristasura had dug a hole in the ground with his hoof. So Radharani, she broke her golden bangle. Golden bangle means kankan. And she began to dig. And all the Sakis, they broke their golden bangles and they began to dig. You can go on YouTube and you can type in either Kangan Kund or Kankan Kund. You'll see when they were doing the cleaning of Radha Kund, how deep it is. You won't believe how many steps there is down there to see. You can see this. And you can see that Kankan Kund right in the middle. We came there one day, in 2000, no, this was 1987, the first time they did the cleaning. And we just happened to come that day. They pumped all the water out of Radha Kund. We saw Kankan Kund, and we pulled up our dhotis and saris, and we were sloshing around in mud up to our calves, and we circumambulated. Ram Roy was there, who does the Harinam in New York. He just jumped in the water. The rest of us walked around. We put some water on our heads. And we saw it again in 2010 when they did the cleaning of Radhakund. We got to get, so you can see both those darshans of Kankan Kund. So after a while, Krishna looked. He said, "Your kund is very beautiful, but there's no water in it." And Radharani said, "We're going to bring water from Manasi Ganga. In the middle of the Govardhan hill, in the middle of the town of Govardhan, the beautiful lake called Manasi Ganga. So we're going to have thousands and thousands of gopis with gold and silver water pots, one line going, one line coming, and we're going to fill our kund with water from Manasi Ganga." Now Krishna, he doesn't like to see the gopis doing any work. He can't bear to see a bead of perspiration come on Radharani's brow. So he signaled to all those places personified. They became one person. And they went before Srimati Radharani and began to pray to her. That we thought that the perfection of life was to be associated with the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Because you think when Krishna bathed in all the sacred places, they became purified, right? And yet, no, all the places became purified because Krishna bathed in them. He said, but now seeing Krishna's devotion for your lotus feet, we can understand real perfection of life is to be associated with your lotus feet. And she says, what do you want? He said, we want to come in your kund. And Radharani, she glanced at Krishna and she smiled and she said, and they broke a hole. When you go to Radhakund, you see there's a little dome, little white dome. Underneath that dome, in the steps, you can see all the way to the other side, to Shamakund. So they broke a hole in the wall of Shamakund, and the water from Shamakund came into Radhakund, right at the midnight. And Krishna told Radharani that your kund is very beautiful, and I will always come and take my bath in your kund. And Radharani said, and your kund is very beautiful. We will always come and take our bath in your kund. So in this way, although Radhakund and Shamakund are eternal, they have this wonderful pastime of appearance. Therefore, Mahaprabhu, as soon as he heard this is a wristogram, he began to ask, where's Radhakund and Shamakund? But it was lost to the eyes of the world. Nobody knew. And being the self-same Supreme Personality of Godhead, he sat underneath a tamal tree. There's a beautiful place that now I have a wonderful friend named Parmananda Baba. He's from Philippines. He's a Filipino Baba. He was with ISKCON, but he's become independent. So he's a Baba there in Radhakund. And he's fixing up all the places. And he's made a beautiful place there, beautiful, with beautiful beauty of Mahaprabhu, with beautiful lotus eyes, and Mahaprabhu's lotus footprints there. They tried to plant another tamal tree. The old tamal tree died, and they tried to put another one, but it didn't work. And he's made all the pastimes all around. He got one of our life members in Delhi gave a nice donation. Marble. Before there was just some paintings. Now there's marble bas-reliefs of different pastimes, even pastime of Mahaprabhu. Because Mahaprabhu notices two paddy fields here. One is called Kali, which you can understand means black, and the other is Gauri, which you can understand means golden. So that Kali, that was Shamakund, and Gauri, that was Radhakund. So he went down, so you see the pastime Mahaprabhu standing in the paddy field. All the Vishvasis were amazed. What is this sannyasi doing? Bathing in these paddy fields. He chanted so many beautiful prayers. We don't have time today to go off those beautiful prayers. They're in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can learn them in whatever language you speak. You can learn those prayers. Just one little chant. E kunde nitya Krishna radhika rasange jale jala keli kori tire rasarange. So this is very simple Bengali. Even Hindi well you can understand. And if you, from reading Prabhupada's books, you may have picked up a few words of Sanskrit here and there. Bengali is almost mostly Sanskrit. So Kunde Nitya Krishna, always Krishna. You can understand, huh? Kunde, in this Kund, Nitya Krishna, Radhikara Sanghe, you follow, huh? In the association of Radharani. Kunde Nitya Krishna, Radhikara Sanghe, Jale. Of course, when you go to Mayapur, then they say Jal, when you want water. But in Vrindavan, the first word that our foreign devotees learn is Pani. Oh Prabhu, where's Pani? But in Bengal we say Jal, or in the Jal, in the water, Jale. Jale Jala Kedi Kodi Tire Rasarangi Tira, we hear every day, huh? So we know banks. On the banks, Rasarangi, they're doing Ras. Beautiful prayers like this, Mahaprabhu chanted. And revealed Radhakund and Shamakund to the eyes of the world. You see, Radha Krishna ki Jai. So they're going to allow us to go a little longer, so if anybody has any questions, we can try to answer your questions. Yes? We have a Bhakta mic? Or do we not? Here's Bhakta mic, okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
My question is, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu filed the Radhakund Sankund, that is the same Radhakund Sankund which is now in Govardhan, or different?
No, same one. Just that later, Raghunath Das Goswami, he got the idea that we should, that in the future, many hundreds of people will come from America, from Russia, from Europe, from all over India. People will come from Kerala, from Tamil Nadu, from UP, from Bihar, from Orissa, and all Gujarat, and so many places people will come here. There's no proper ghats, there's no proper steps or anything. And then he thought that, because we know Raghunath Das, he was the son of a billionaire. He said, I'm thinking about money again. And meanwhile, so he took a maun brat. I would not just see, I'm speaking about money again. He said, if I get some money, I'd fix this place up now. So then one businessman from Calcutta, he went to Badrinath. And Badrinarayan came in his dream and said, don't give that donation here, you go to Raghunath Das Goswami in Radhakund. So somehow he got to Vrindavan. It was easy, there wasn't Indigo Airlines in those days. Somehow he got there. There wasn't, Krishna Balaram taxi service. Somehow he got to Radhakund. He found out Raghunath Das Goswami. He says, I have a big donation for you. He said, wherever you came from, you take your money and go home. And he said, Lord told me you won't accept it, but he knows your desire to fix up the kunds. He said, all right, give it here. So all the steps have been, and everything was built by Raghunath Das Goswami, the way we see Radhakund. And when 2010, they even fixed up the steps and made dwars and so many things all over the place. Then the question comes about bathing in Radhakund. It's the first time Prabhupada took the devotees there. He pointed with his cane, this is Radhakund. And everybody jumped in the water. And the only thing Prabhupada did, because everybody forgot their bodies, and Prabhupada just, he was pushing it, and all the girls should go on this side, and the boys should go on this side. But later, since Westerners especially were very frivolous, we were doing, backflips and cannonballs and splashing around. And so that Prabhupada said only 3 drops of water on the head. But I did a lot of research. In the database you could find in 77, 3 days before, because Prabhupada left on the 4th day, and Govardhan Puja was on the 1st day. So just before that, Prabhupada wanted to go on Govardhan Prikrama. Somehow the devotees and Krishnadas Babaji, his dear godbrother, came and explained to Prabhupada, you can't do it. So he said, so you go, and Krishnadas Baba will be my representative. It's there in the database, he said. So then Tamal Krishna is saying, yes, we'll go to, we'll see Kusum Sarovar, we'll see Manasi Ganga, we'll see Govinda Kund, we'll see Radha Kund. And Prabhupada says, yes. As soon as he says, we'll see Radha Kund, he says, yes. You all go take bath on my behalf. You all go take bath on my behalf. So this is my version of the final order. So that's Prabhupada's final order. That we could do Ritvik Stan and Radha on behalf of Shiva. But do it reverently. Don't go jumping and splashing and playing. Do it very reverently. Any other questions? Okay, where's Bhakta Mike?
I don't really need a microphone this one. It's not really a question, it's more like a request. And I know it's not traditionally what we do, but could you sing at least one village song?
I don't know if our Prime Minister gives me permission. Okay, you can look on your device. Okay. Well, before we sing, actually what we'll do, since Artik is going on, we'll do very special Brishvasi bhajan. This is dancing music, so you can all stand anyway, because you're tired of sitting anyway, and you won't be able to sit when you hear this song, so everybody stand up. So after Artik, I have my book with me, Rajlila Part 3, Giriraj, the King of Mountains. And other two books have maybe 10, 12 pictures. Since everybody loves the pictures of my dear friend Arjun Bhattacharya, we put 284 color pictures. And 32 paintings. We had to get permission from BBT. And every place in Govardhan is in this book. So, and if anybody wants to take a copy today, they're only $25, and you don't have to have cash. We can take credit cards, Venmo, PayPal, whatever you want. QR codes. Well, after, let us do Artik first. Okay, where's those good? They're going to get the Mridanga Brothers to work out today. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Ram. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Ram. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Ram. Jai often, the guy who drives the rickshaw, he's the rickshaw wala. The guy who makes the sweets, he's the sweet wala, mithai wala. Who takes care of the cows, he's the go wala. Go wala, go wala, go wala, go wala, go wala, gwal. So Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada, like we sing in Tosi Artik, always sing the glories of Bihari Lal. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada, Bihari Lal. That's imperative tense. Sing Radha Krishna. Gaoge is future conditional. If you will sing Govinda Govinda, Prema Padarata. Padarata means that substance called Prema Padarata, Pauvi. You know, Sayana means to Pauvi. You will taste that thing called Prem. Govinda Govinda Gaoge. So in Hindi we like to repeat everything, huh? Thodi thodi Hindi aati hai. So kund mean all the kunds, charnamrita le, take charnamrit. Apana means your very own. Jivana? Jivana means life. Apana jivana, safal. Sa fal, you know patribusam phalam, fal means fruit. Sa fal, with fruit, fruitful. Successful, make your life successful. Apana jivana, safala kare. Kunna kunna me charnamrita le.